Hey there, Alex Kidman here, and ahead of Samsung's launch of the Galaxy S23 FE, not that it was too much of a secret, I had the chance for a little bit of hands-on time, as you can see here. Really strictly limited hands-on. It was basically just a photo op and camera op, but I was able to get a little bit of hands-on feel, play around with the cameras just a little bit, as you'll see. So if you're wondering, well, what the heck is the S23 FE? Well, it's the fan edition of the S23, which is to say it's the slightly more budget model. Here in Australia, it's going to run $999, available in a range of colours. You can see me holding the tangerine one here. And basically, what the FE phones are meant to do is represent the best of what Samsung can put into a phone at a slightly more moderate price than their full flagship Galaxy S phones, so things like the S23 Plus and Ultra and so on. That $999 price point, of course, does reflect that. What you get in return is an Exynos 2200 processor. Not so sure about that. We'll have to wait and see on the testing of that, especially as some of Samsung's older phones, like as in prior flagships, can now be had at around that price point. It'll be very interesting to see where this sits performance-wise. As you can see, I was able to give the camera a bit of a test. So it's got a primary 50 megapixel camera plus ultra wide and 3 times telephoto. Samsung lets you take that up to 30 times space zoom. Now look, space zoom is just a fancy digital crop, and honestly it's a digital crop that does not always work all that well. But for regular zooms, and often what I found previously with the predecessors to this, there wasn't an S22 FE but there was the S21, is that it works well enough up to about 10 times. Variety of colours, as you can see here, that you can choose from, some of which will be exclusive to Samsung. But a nice looking phone, metal finish, decent water resistance, nice quality screen. Should be quite a decent little unit. I'm waiting to get my hands on a full unit so I can actually put it through its testing paces. But my initial impressions are that Samsung could have a really nice competitive phone in that, what I tend to think of as high mid-range. $999, of course, is not inexpensive, but at the same time, it's not super expensive. And this puts it up against things like, I guess, the Pixel 7a at the time of recording, and a few other phones from other manufacturers, the likes of Motorola, for example. And I think it's going to compete well, but we will have to wait and see until I can give it a full, frank review. Stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.